right, so on the exterior, you can see a lot of things going on. This is a really sharp looking camp. X30 camp, 24-foot box, 30 feet from bumper to tongue. Weighs about just under 11,000 pounds, so a little bit heavier, which you'll understand as we kind of go through some of the things that this one's got going on. I'm gonna talk about, I'll briefly go over the exterior and some of the options or upgrades that they've added to this one. But I'll go through a list of things on the interior. But this one's got the 2 5/16 coupler. This one, they did upgrade to a heavier coupler on this one, which I wouldn't say is needed. But we can do that if that's something that you're interested in. And then you can see these brackets here. This is for an equalizer hitch, which is very common for us to do on some of these camps. Also, another thing that I wouldn't say you necessarily would need. These pull exceptionally well, especially where each camp is designed individually. So the frame is built specifically to your camp and the weight distribution needed. So they pull really, really good. So I will use an equalizer hitch every now and again if I'm going across country or something going long distance. But I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a need. So we did do the equalizer hitch for them on this one. They also have the electric jack, which was an upgrade. And then these have the 2 7-gallon 30-pound propane tanks. Your fold-up steps. This one does have the Dutch door, so that top half splits to where you can open just the top half up. You've got all your outside lights. So there's 2 of these on each side. They did a small awning and then did the wainscot, which would be this diamond plate on the lower half. You can see the difference. So this one's got the wainscot, and then this one's just a plain one. So we've got the wainscot. They did do the under storage boxes. And then this one does have the heated enclosed tank. So it has heat both from the furnace, the circulation from the wood stove, and then also has electric heat pads on it. So lots of options to use as far as keeping those those tanks heated. Wood burning stove. This is your fresh air vent for the wood burning stove, and then this is the wood box that feeds to the inside. So you can keep all your wood and everything in there from the outside. You don't have to haul a bunch of dirt through the camp. 2 7,200-pound axles. These are a 16-inch wheel, 8 lug. We can do a variety of different tires on these. 6-gallon water heater. This is a gas. And then they had us add 2 spare tires, so you've got 1 on each side. And then you can see, because of the configuration of this one, we were able to do bigger doors on these sides. So a lot bigger space in there. This one is plumbed to where if they wanted to do a camp chef or anything in there, they can. And then this access door is for their Starlink setup, to where once they get to where they're at, they can set it up. All the cables and everything are in there. Big box on the back as well. This does have the 2-inch receiver to where they could pull doubles, 4-wheelers, whatever, boat, whatever they felt comfortable or would be allowed by the law. You can see extra solar ports to where they can add extra solar if they wanted. They come standard with 200-watt panels. And then you can see the fills for the water, as well as the connections for satellite or cable TV. This is the setup of the water tanks in the back. They can select these individually to where they can draw off one or both, however they want to do it. All these cabinets are lighted as well. Little shelf up above to where they can store things. And these are our keyed latches too, so you can lock them, keep everything secured. 7-way plug. It is wired to where you can run electric brakes on that rear trailer also. And then on this side, you've got an extra solar panel. So he had us add one extra solar panel, and then the ports. And then this one has 6-volt batteries. They're AGMs. And then he's got his 3,000 watt pure sine inverter, his Bogart solar system, and then tons of storage space back here. And then these are also set up. I like to think they're all off boondocking and stuff, but they are set up to where you could go to a campground, hook into water, power everything that way. Fridge vents, forced air furnace. This is a 30,000 BTU, so more than adequate for this size trailer. And then I think I failed to mention the backup cameras and the side cameras. So this one, we've added these marker light cameras. When you turn on your signal, turn left or right, that camera will come on. And then it also has a backup camera to where when you're backing up, you can see what's going on. This is a 30-foot or 25-foot 30 amp cord, so you can stretch it out, plug it in. All your wastegates. And then it does have the storage up here as well, which is standard. So unlatch that. These grates come out and you can put all your tire chocks and everything in there. So that's a look at the exterior of this one. We'll go ahead and show you the interior. It's unique. It's not something that you've seen before. So, and I have had a lot of people ask about this kind of layout. So I think you're gonna enjoy it. So let's go in. All right, let's go ahead and climb in this one and see what it has to offer. So as I mentioned, as we walked around the exterior, there was a lot of upgrades in this one. This was one of them, the keypad. I want to say he provided this, which a lot of the things that we've added to this camp were things that they provided for us. So not necessarily an upgrade for us, we just installed them. So keypad entry there. As we walk in, you can see different configuration in here. From what I understand, this is going to be their home. They're going to be living in it full time. So they set it up accordingly. So colors, this one has the fawn cypress wall, and then Brazil wood cabinet. This is a vintage pine flooring. And then a Benjamin gray is what the countertop is. This is an X30 camp, as I mentioned on the exterior. So 24 feet of living space on the interior. Let's go around. We'll start back up the front where we normally do. So this will be a little office space, workspace. It sounds like this is where a lot of the work's gonna happen. So it's set up for her computer, the monitor. It's got your cables for printer setup, USBs, 12-volt plugs, all of that stuff. There is a power strip underneath where this is lighted to where she can plug in whatever she needs to. It's got the pull-out tray for her keyboard. And then drawer space on the sides. These are all dovetail drawers. They've got the latching soft close drawer slides. And then this side's just open. We've got their equalizer hitch sitting in there. So a little office space. We've got a nice little window. Some overhead storage with lights underneath them. Stereo set up. I'm just waiting for a door to get finished for this one. Your thermostat for your forced air furnace, 30,000 BTU furnace, inverter. This one does have the inverter. And then they had us add the Bogart solar controller that also has this monitor that'll give you readouts. Those of you that have watched the channel for a while, I've installed quite a few of those. They become pretty popular, so if that's something that you're interested, be sure to let us know. And then this one does have the heated tank. So these were an upgrade. So as far as what's upgraded on this one, you've got the inverter, which would be an upgrade. And then this one does have the heated tanks with the electric heating elements on them. And then the circulation fan standard. So it's got a circulation fan in here. Circulate the temperature, the heat from the wood burning stove. So yeah, just really those two things were upgrades. Everything else, oh, and the heated tanks were an upgrade. Everything else is standard. So your monitoring system, this will go through everything from your tank levels to your batteries. You can set alarms, all sorts of stuff, turn things off. So in here we're getting an alarm for our freshwater 1 tank. As I mentioned on the exterior, this one has 2 freshwater tanks. So we'll get an alarm telling us that that one's empty. It's going to run through our black and our gray, and then we're going to get another alarm for our other freshwater tank because it's also empty. So it'll let you know when things are getting low or when they're getting full. That way you can kind of keep an eye on things and be able to use them accordingly. So I can't remember if I mentioned it does have the stereo. The blind boxes, these were an upgrade. So standard we would do curtains with curtain rods, and then if you do want these, we can do these. I'm a little bit limited, just so you guys know, on what I can do as far as engravings on these. Just because some of this window is not so bad because it's a small window, but I get some of the big 48-inch windows that, depending on the scene, this is only a 3.5-inch board. So by the time I take a scene and I stretch it over that span, sometimes it looks really stupid, and I mean, we do like a cattle drive scene, and it actually doesn't look like a cattle drive scene. It looks like they're herding wiener dogs. So there's some things that we'll just want to talk about if that's something that you're interested in. I mean, I could do a small scene and a brand, or we could do a number of different things. That's just something that you'll want to look at if that's something that you're interested in, is doing some of those. So then we've got a big closet. This is a huge closet. We'll have a rod in here. Still got to get the rod in here, but tons of space in here for clothes, whatever else you want to put in here. Once they get here, we'll probably talk about, they might even want a shelf or something in here. So, but when they come to pick this one up, we'll go through some of that with them. This one's got your panel for your fuses and breakers. They also had us do a built-in safe here. And then there's outlets scattered throughout this one. Like I say, when you're living in it, you kind of want to get things exactly where you want them. And so they were very detailed in how they wanted this camp, where they wanted power, all of those different things. And if I have questions too, as we go through the build process, I will generally give you a call, ask you kind of how you're going to use it, where you would want things. Because we want to make sure that these are a forever camp, that you're happy with them. So I've been able to be on the phone with these guys several times to just go over some little details of where things are going to work best for them. So we've got these big drawers underneath that closet. These are also all dovetail drawers with the latching hinges, and then we do put a latch on these ones. Just to help. You get this big of a drawer and you get that much weight moving down the road. We'd hate to have things come out, so we do put the locking latches on both of those. The furnace on this one is set below the fridge, so it actually elevates this fridge up, which makes it nice. You don't have to bend down to get to the bottom of things in that fridge. And then it is set up here to where they could add a microwave. It has an outlet in there if they wanted to in the future. And then these are all soft close hinges also. So all hardwood doors. This is a knotty alder material. And then it's finished in a Brazil wood. Little storage on the top here. And then these are some pull-out pantries. So you've got two big pull-out pantries on this side. We've got our gas light burning. Kind of nice having it over here by the recliners. You got lots of cool features over here, sitting across from the wood stove, the gas light. And then big window above the recliners. This is, like I say, one of those 48-inch windows. As you can see, the ducts turn out really good. Doesn't distort them a lot. But like I say, some of those other scenes do. So fantastic fan remote. That was an upgrade also in this one. So the fantastic fan, maybe I'll just go through a list of what we had as far as upgrades in this one. So the majority of them would probably be more noticeable on the exterior, but there are a lot of them that are here on the interior. So we had the awning was an upgrade. The air conditioner is an upgrade. The fantastic fan. Then they added an extra spare tire. They've got the heated tank, so we talked about that already. The Bogart solar. They did do the extra solar, which we talked about on the exterior also. And then the keyed lock pad. And then because this is going to be kind of a mobile office for them, we did Starlink in this one. So you can see the modem back here in the corner. And then it also has a Wii Boost on it. So they can do a lot of things that way. It does have a water filtration, which once we come around to that kitchen area, I'll show you that. A range hood, so the hood above the range. The safe, they did a different faucet, a heavier coupler, and then the diamond plate, the electric jack, the blinds, and under storage, and then the two freshwater tanks. So a couple upgrades on this one. Like I say, most of the stuff was provided. So the safe, the lock pad, the Starlink, all of that stuff, they provided those things, so we just installed them. It does have the cameras too, which I told you about. We were able to get them for them. So they have the backup cameras and everything. So anyways, back up here to the front. And if you have any questions about any of those things, feel free to reach out to us. We do get a lot of questions about the Starlink, which the next camp that I'll be building will have the new Starlink Mini, which is a 12-volt setup. So I'm curious to see how the install of that's going to go. I think that will open a lot of things up for people. You've heard me mention the Wine Guard with the 5G booster and stuff. Those are all great options because they're 12 volt. But if Starlink's going to come out with a 12 volt setup, I think that might be a nice feature for you. So reclining sofas, these are chocolate ones. These will recline dang near flat. I won't pull that out because it's hard to do one-handed, but they'll lay pretty well flat to where you could sleep on them if you wanted to. In fact, a lot of customers have told us that they do sleep on them. So, and it's hard not to sleep on them when you get reclined and you get right across from the wood stove. Seems to have that effect on you. So queen size bed. It's got a little storage up here at the footboard. This is wired, like I say, with USB ports throughout. This will have doors on it. I'm just finishing them up as well. But their Wii Boost and some of that stuff is up in there for the controls, the on off and everything. It's got the pull-out kitchen table over the recliners. So it'll pull out pretty dang far to where you can sit at the recliners, have a meal, and then it's got the outlets and everything next to it to where it sounds like one of them might be doing some work from the recliners, which I would have a hard time getting anything done there. You got 3 rows of drawers there, and then tons of drawers on this entertainment center side. So this is set up to where they can have a TV and everything, whether they do it in front of the window, at the foot of the bed. It's set up for however they want to do that. So set up for coax, antennas, all that fun stuff. And you've got our wood stove, cranking out the heat. It's cold today, so it's kind of nice to come in here and be warm. Lots of overhead space. I mentioned that this was an upgrade. If this is something, we used to do these standard, and then they became so hard to get that we stopped doing them standard just because of, yeah, like I say, supply issues. But if this is something that you want, make sure to mention that with Dave, because I think he's found a couple of them. So I do have a couple of them in stock. So if that's something that you want, this is vented to the outside. Makes it kind of nice. 3-burner cooktop, stainless steel appliances. I don't know that I mentioned much about the fridge, but it's a 2-way, so AC and propane. Got a big drawer for pots and pans and everything down below. Underneath, the wood box feeds through to the outside. You can keep all your kindling, ash, logs, whatever in there, and then you can access it from the outside too. So makes it easy to keep things nice and clean. This one's got the pull-out cutting board. You got a nice cutting board there, and then rows of drawers beneath it. Single sink, stainless steel. This is a deep sink. They did want a different faucet here, so that's something that they provided. A little bit different style than what I do standard. Got another big window over the kitchen area. And then this one also has the water filtration that I was talking about. So 3 canister filters to filter all their water and everything through. So kind of a nice feature if you're gonna be drinking the water, anything like that. I must have brushed up against the clean walls. That's not good. Let's go in the bathroom. So this is an 1.5 inch door, continuous hinge, piano hinge that runs that whole length. It's heavy, stout. I mean, these are not your typical RVs. So everything that we do, we want to hold up and just, yeah, provide a product that's gonna last you. So big deep vanity. This one's a 16-inch vanity. So standard it'd be a 14-inch, so a little bit bigger vanity there. They've got the mirrored medicine cabinet, your exhaust fan, and then drawers and some storage down below. Porcelain toilet. This has the frosted bathroom window, and then the 32-inch shower with the glass door. And these are all your light switches, access panel. This is just for plumbing. Your front door or your front porch light, middle lights, bathroom lights. But that's an overall look at the interior of this one. Kind of cool, kind of unique layout. I'm excited to see what they think of it when they come, because they've thought this out really well. Spent a lot of time in the design of this camp, so it'll be fun to see their reaction as they come in and see this one. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, like I say, about any of the upgrades, anything that way, reach out to us. We can discuss all those things. And as always, thanks for watching.